not going to pass. But I've been saying this for a while now, just like same-sex marriage. When enough states passed same-sex marriage, eventually the federal government had to recognize it, which is why now people in same-sex marriages are able to file for green cards and adjust their status. The same thing's going to happen with marijuana. I've been saying it for the last 4 years. It's not going to happen this year, but for the first time in congressional history, we're getting closer. The House of Representatives voted to pass a measure that would decriminalize marijuana use at the federal level. Now, I'll tell you why I'm excited, Yo-Yo and Vanessa. It's not because I smoke weed. I don't. Okay, so let's make it clear why Uncle Brad is excited. It's not because I smoke. Why is Vanessa going? I don't smoke weed, Vanessa. I don't.
It might not be you. I don't know.
All right. So, but maybe other people on the crew may be excited. But but nevertheless, I'm excited for our clients because as part of the bill that was passed by the House of Representatives, it's not going to pass the Senate, and even if it does, Trump's not going to sign it. But it's good news for maybe in a year or 2 years. We have members, a Democratic House, a very close Democratic Republican Senate. Perhaps a few senators like to, light it up every so often, and they'll say, you know what, why not? Let's pass marijuana. I believe Biden would sign it. And why it's important, but it's important right now because it's the first time that a federal House or the Senate has ever passed a bill to decriminalize marijuana. The vote was 228 to 164 and included 5 Republicans voting in favor of the measure. Now, Gerald Nadler, who is co-sponsoring the bill, he said that the legislation would reverse the failed policy of criminalizing marijuana on the federal level and would take steps to address the heavy toll this policy has taken across the country, particularly on communities of color. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, also a Democrat, she did agree. According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, the majority of marijuana users do not use harder substances. Even Representative Matt Gaetz, who's a big Trump supporter, he also co-sponsored the bill. He said he would vote for the bill because the federal government has lied to the people of this country about marijuana for generations. Now, why does that help? Obviously, we want to decriminalize things that are not hurting others. Honestly, marijuana were to cause cancer, so do cigarettes. They're legal. You don't want to get behind the wheel of, smoking weed. Well, you know what? We decriminalized alcohol. That's a lot worse, getting the wheel. I don't see the purpose. I think it's actually hypocritical that these other things are legal and marijuana is not. And it has destroyed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people's lives. Not the actual drug itself, but the policing of it. The policing of it. And so many young men and even women have been deported. Families have been separated just from an immigration perspective. Now, what's important about this bill, which is not going to be law, but maybe in a year or two they'll bring it back. Part of the bill was that they would expunge or give an avenue. I don't know the exact mechanism in the bill because I didn't read the actual language. I just read about it. But there would be a mechanism in the bill for people to be able to expunge their convictions. And if the conviction is expunged and the federal government does not recognize marijuana as a drug, then you have an expunged record and you have a drug offense. You have a drug offense even if it's expunged or not expunged, and quite frankly, would no longer be inadmissible because the federal government doesn't criminalize it. And if that would be the case, logically, you would say that many, many men and women who have drug offenses, even if you have a offense, to be a 45-year-old guy, and 25 years ago, you were walking down the street and you and your friends were smoking a joint. A joint! I'm not talking about a bag of weed. I'm not talking about a trunk of weed. A joint. And you got arrested. Just stupid. You're walking around the street. The cop didn't like you. That prevents you from ever entering America again.
Yeah.
Without a waiver. So that bars you for smoking a joint when half of America smokes every day. So that's how hypocritical it is. So, all of these cases would now be reviewed and a lot of people would have perhaps, good immigration results. I've done consultations where I told people in the last few years, I said, stay tuned, it's going to happen. I just felt it. This is the first start of it.
I'm actually very happy about this. I actually have a friend from Kenya who has a visa, I believe, and she actually has, an illness to where like she has to smoke, and it kind of like calms the pain. And she's scared to do that, because like she's not doing it for fun. She's literally doing it because of her sickness. But she's scared because she feels like if she gets caught, she'll get deported. So like I like this, for so many reasons. It's not just to get high and have fun.
Do you know when you go to a doctor for your medical exam before you go for your immigrant visa, the doctor always asks, do you smoke marijuana? And if you say yes, or if they make you pee in a cup, or if you say, well, I did 10 years ago, but I don't do it now. Do you know they mark off drug abuser? And you get denied. You get denied for your green card.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
happens. I did not know that.
It happens. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.